GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Welcome, everybody, to our show tonight. We're going to be doing a traditional classic family edition of bracket with a traditional robots versus non-bug space aliens topic. So we're going to do a little bit different bracket. It'll be a 64 whatever item bracket, the big one, right? It's a big one tonight. So half the list will be robots. The other half of the list will be non-bug space aliens. So we don't want any bugs in here. But then we'll randomize it a couple of times, and then we'll have the rest of the bracket like normal, and that will give us a double action situation. So that being said, I put out invites to like 18 people or more. So we'll kind of go live here for a bit. I think Foss had to step away anyway, and let people riff on whatever anybody wants to call any shots or call any winners in this automatically. We haven't even started the list, but instead of just jumping right into the list, we'll kind of get the ball rolling. So the first person to jump in was G23. Thanks for jumping in from Oregon. How's it going up there?
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Right on. Then Foss jumped in from Washington. I don't know if he's back yet.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Everything going all right?
Yeah, I just grabbed my water.
So that would be a critical situation if you're a robot. That would not be a big deal at all if you're a normal alien who doesn't have any kind of allergic reaction to water. So how's it going in Washington this evening?
It's raining.
That's normal then, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're done with summer, so it started raining yesterday and today.
Right on. Thanks for jumping in. Traditional bracket tree. And then we've got DJ, last one to jump in, or maybe the next one to jump in.
Pathetic Earthlings. Hey, how's it going? This is going to be a fun bracket.
So you're calling aliens? Is that the idea?
I'm trying. That's where I am.
All right. So now there's a poll going, so people can, even regular people who are just watching this that aren't on the panel, everybody out there can be part of this by clicking on the poll over there, being part of it. See, Snob did a Coffee Crew update over here. Thanks for being a channel member. We have a scroll going at the bottom of the screen. It says, thanks to our Patreons who give us time to do stuff like this. Obviously, this isn't a big deal, important or anything, but it's a way to break some tension, if there is any, if a way to just get together and let off steam, if there is any pressure, and then just a way to chat about something that isn't big news, like maybe the comment periods that are happening right now that everybody's been ignoring, including I think pretty much the entire gun rights policy conference, but whatever. So we won't talk about that stuff tonight. Instead, we'll talk about robots versus non-bug space aliens. So if you people jump in, like I say, we got 18 invites out there. You may be one of them if you're somebody who's jumped in on the show before. So look at your inbox, jump on in. So that was everybody getting introduced, right? So then nobody's really saying anything out there. They're just saying hey to each other. At some point, we'll break this thing down and start getting a bracket together. What do you think of this robot versus non-bug space alien team? Not team up, I guess. Challenge.
I feel like there are so many ways to defeat robots, right?
Well, according to Mars Attacks, you can defeat aliens with Slim Whitman.
Nice.
It's a weird movie. I'm trying to remember now. Is that how they got rid of everybody? Just driving around with a radio?
Yeah. With like
Scale
an
of 1 to 10. Where's that movie for you? Mars Attacks.
6, 7.
DJ?
Lower. 4.
Yeah, I'll watch it if it's like that or something horrible, but I don't really like it. It's weird and I don't like it. Is G23 still here? You never seen that movie? Hello? So let's see. We've got Wood saying that he's against the robots and talking about EMPs. So would an EMP get rid of a robot, or space or future robots not worried about EMPs anymore? Because that would have been like, I don't know, smallpox or something. Like they inoculated themselves against it because they figured it out a long time ago.
I would think they would have shielding.
I feel like kind of like the Borg, right? Like you zap a robot once and it knows that you don't get zapped, so it doesn't let itself get zapped anymore.
The adaptation thing. Yeah, I get you.
I think so. I mean, a kind of robot that's gonna change its own parts or whatever to get better. So a robot's sitting there and it goes flying around in space or someplace and meets a new alien or something, figures out something new. You think that robot doesn't just go, I'll go buy those parts and add them parts to me, right? Like it's gonna, see a new spectrum or figure out a new way to locomote or move around or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, it seems like a really good idea so far to not be an organic being. There are just so many, like I said at the beginning, there's just so many ways to defeat a robot, even one that adapts out. You mentioned the weather kind of thing, like a robot in Washington is going to be rusting like the Tin Man kind of thing. Like what kind of adaptation, like constant oiler or something like that, like sealed circuits and whatever else. It seems like the adaptations might be a little difficult to overcome.
What if it's a liquid robot, like a jellyfish?
Oh, like the Blob? The Blob was an alien, wasn't it? That 50s movie?
I think everything in the 50s was an alien.
And I don't remember how they defeated the Blob. But that'd be an example. Some kind of viscous alien.
Cold,
Gross.
or they sneezed on it. It's usually like they sneezed on it or they coughed or something, and then like, oh, it was that easy.
Well, there's a T-1000. That was a liquid robot.
Ooh, fair.
From Terminator.
That's a good point. I was thinking more like, I don't know. But yeah, that would work. So if there's transparent aluminum out of Star Trek and you got Terminator with the liquid robot, couldn't you have a liquid or transparent, make that robot out of liquid transparent aluminum?
Yeah. You would see the insides of it, though.
Well,
yeah, I'm not sure about the chemistry involved with that.
So to make the entire thing out of that and water and vegetable oil, mineral oil. I mean, those are the three ingredients, and then it would just look like clear liquids interacting with each other, kind of, if you've seen it at the right angle.
Well, if you filled it with mineral oil, then you wouldn't have to worry about water penetration.
Oh, snap. Let's see. So while we were chatting here, I'm going to be getting the bracket going. Figured we'd chat for a little bit, give people a chance to join in, to get their coffee topped off, join the link or whatever, click the link and join in. I'm not saying they're all cowards, but, just kind of give them a chance to show up before you just start having the challenge. So 7 votes so far. What do you think's winning? Does anybody look at the poll?
I'm on my phone, so I'm not looking. My guess is going to be aliens.
Yep. 57 to 43 right now. So, yeah, not quite dead heat, but probably not over yet, depending on how many people show up. Will this be a big weekend? Is there anything going on? Am I doing this like right during the Super Bowl or something?
Oh, most of the sports balls have just kicked off. So, football season is only week 3, I think. And then college ball, you're talking week 3, week 4.
So that means people aren't watching it? I don't know what that means, but okay. So if we're not doing this in the middle of something, we'll see how many people show up. So if you're watching this live, the way we know you're going to show up is by saying something out there. We've got, I guess I'll say hey to people joining us. We've got Kingpin joined us first. DJ said hey. Then Woods with an early, what's the word? Opinion with
Prediction.
Prediction. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. Go aliens, down with robots. Chessboard is saying, hey, DJ and everybody. Too much on the alien aspect of the subject. My hard drive is overflowing with data. That can happen. Woods, did I say that? Gunpowder Beauty is out there. Good evening. And Gunsnob with the member chat. Thanks for the being a member, and thanks for the member chat, because that gives me a chance to mention it again. So I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody who's channel member. Lets us do the important stuff and the stuff too. And it looks like that's everybody that's out there. All right. So let's see. Woods is saying robots are a realistic threat to human survival. Aliens are not. Who agrees? Is this controversial, or is this precedent? Is this the way it is, or is this challenge?
I think he's understanding the actual facts.
What do you mean? So you think aliens are going to be a bigger threat first before robots?
Yep. I'm thinking aliens are going to get us way before the AI takes control.
I would say
actually go ahead.
In your day-to-day life, robots, because you're more likely to interact with a robot on your day, daily.
So when a robot opens the gate, or the robot washes the grass or something, or whatever robots are doing instead of people now, is that hurting us, or is that just shifting things? Another question, if that one isn't too good one. Do you count AI as a robot? AI separate? Or is AI part of the robot whole thing?
I would tend to want to add it to robot. It's an artificial intelligence, and a robot is artificial, and depending on how it was programmed or designed, it also is intelligent. So
such a realist. So anything that ain't real is the same. Whatever. Okay.
I'd put them as separate. The robot is the physical, and the AI is the.
An AI is a consciousness, right?
Yeah.
And a robot is a set of instructions following its thing. So an AI can program a robot. A robot can be complicated and program another robot, but a robot's always going to be the clinical robot.
Yeah,
an AI gets maniacal, right?
The robot.
I love you.
Robot is the hardware, and the AI is the software.
Oh, that's interesting. So some robots got the AI in them.
But don't you need the software to tell the hardware what to do?
I'm not saying they can't be together. I'm just saying
they can be together, but I don't think you need the AI. You don't need AI to run a robot. You can have a complicated robot program that's just on a chip versus AI consciousness, like, having feelings and worrying about stuff and loving and things. Like a robot isn't loving. A robot is just like following its code.
The automatons, the early robots, from the Greeks, those didn't have AI. They were 100% mechanical.
Clockwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would win, human AI or alien AI? Stupefied.
When? Now it would be difficult because they would have the advantage by getting here. But in the future, when we can go anywhere we want, then it'd be a different story.
That's what I was going to say. If they came here, them. If we went there, us.
Oh, that's a better way to say it. All right, well, we're 15 minutes in. I am about to start getting the bracket going, so we're just going to assume everybody else is too chicken to jump in here. Oh, Gizzards is not even in here, so no offense meant to Gizzard.
So,
just a chicken to come in here.
are we going to consider Transformers robots?
Or
I thought they were alien robots. They're kind of a combo, aren't they?
I don't know. Maybe I should figure that out while I'm getting this thing together, because that is maybe not the only, but that's definitely falls into both categories. So
yeah, it's a good one, G23. Are there other examples like that?
Make them one or the other, or not include them? I can go to 32. That gives us 16 of each. What do you think?
I put them as robots.
Participation tonight. So do you think we're able to get to 32? 16 of each, or 16 robots and 16 aliens?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay. So Foss is saying Transformers are robots and not non-bug aliens. What do you guys want to put it down as? Does the audience have a opinion on this? Anyone? Bueller?
I think we should see what the audience has to say. I'll throw them out my vote on if there are robots or aliens, or not counted at all.
Okay, we'll do that. Well, there's only like 3 people commenting, so either the people that are listening will comment, and then that'll be determine the fate of Transformers, or they'll just wither away and not be included because no one wanted to participate with. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen. The traditional Sunday night bracket thing from scorecount.com. Place that Never Enough Ammo found, and I'm working off of.
The Transformers theme song says robots in disguise.
Well, we know they're robots, but they are also aliens, and they're not bugs. So they are both. So it's not like anybody's saying they're not robots, I don't think. But because they're also aliens, that's the question. It's possible that if there's another thing that is also a non-alien robot, or
GoBots?
non-alien robot, come on, then that could offset it in the list, is what I was going to say. Rip-offs or generic brands, like we got Transformers at home, doesn't count. So we got 32. We'll start off with 16 bugs on top. Or I mean, not bugs. 16 aliens on top. And then we'll start off with the other robots at the bottom. So Woods is saying both brackets. He's saying that Transformers gets 2 slots. Transformers on one side and Decepticons on the other side. That's the way the fair human would do it. How are we doing this? Are we letting the audience decide also the 16 slots, or are you guys picking the 16 slots? I feel like the audience is just sitting there tonight. What's going on?
I threw out mine.
Where'd you throw them?
I threw out the Transformers.
Oh, come on. When you got 1, we have to come up with 32.
And we're starting with aliens at the top of the key. Is that what we're doing?
Well, yeah, just so I can keep track of 16. But yeah.
Yeah, right on.
You don't have to do them first. I mean, we'll just go with whatever. But nobody's saying anything out there. Where did you just... Oh, I thought I'm looking over here, like if you typed in something. Gunpowder Beauty is also saying both brackets. Nobody else is saying anything, so we'll see if that ends it. So anyway, anybody want to throw some out here, I guess? Nobody out there is...
Superman? I don't know.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Xenomorphs.
Xenomorph is like the alien. It's
Oh.
either them or Predator. Yeah, them or Predator.
Is that thing a bug?
Ooh.
No. It depends on your definition of bug, G. It's your rules. What's a bug?
No, I think it depends. Don't they squirt their DNA into whatever life is on the planet? So sometimes they're a bug is the answer, right? Sometimes they're a slime mold, probably, and sometimes they're a human, and sometimes they're a Klingon, right? I think that's how it's supposed to work. Right? In that one where they have the goofy dude who spills some kind of Petri dish into the water, and then pyramid happens or some shit, and then the giant croissant that falls over.
They're a really complex species. They're not an insect though, so they're not a bug. I mean, they have characteristics of one. They're a hive species, so that kind of matches up with them. But they're like a parasite, just walking around and being able to bleed acid and whatever else.
Well, they have ships. They interstellar travel.
So at a minimum, a smart bug.
Well, bugs can be smart, I guess.
What about Alf?
Yeah, we already got Alf coming from Woods. Superman, Elf, Predator, non-bug alien. He looks like a crayfish. I guess that's a sea bug, but we're not counting that.
So, what about what's it? The T-1000 from Terminator.
Okay.
T-1000, the T-800. Does the T-800 get any love?
T-800 is cooler.
So 2000, the 1000 is the liquid one, or what's going on here? I don't remember them all.
Yeah. 800 is the
800 is Terminator, the regular one.
Yep. You got it right.
Okay.
The Thermians from Galaxy Quest. Alien.
What are they?
Thermians?
Yeah. Oh, Galaxy Quest. What are the Thermians?
They're the aliens that asked the Tim Allen to come save them.
Oh, because I was going to say the one alien is a bug, isn't it? Like the one alien parasite thing that gets the ship. Am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of Lost in Space. I'm trying to now remember Galaxy Quest. I don't remember it, but I'll.
Sigourney Weaver, Tim Allen.
No, I remember
Alan
the movie.
Rickman.
I can't remember what the aliens or what the really
Oh.
reason of that movie was. Now that
Yeah, they're humanoid.
I watched it. Okay.
How about Coneheads?
Yeah. These are all going to go to battle. So you guys are all picking like Jetsons type of shit. They're all going to die pretty quick when these robots start slaughtering them.
Klingons, that's a good one. What's that?
See, I like it
No
when
doubt.
stuff or people say it in the chat because look what I can do. Instead of having to type shit and wiggle my fingers or whatever,
What about-
I can just do this.
About like
and I can do
Wookiees?
this. Look how easy that is for me.
I'm into the Wookiee thing for sure. It's a good one.
How do you know he's not a bug?
He's as close to if he's not a mammal, he's damn close. He's within a couple of chromosomes.
Let's see. Then we got Spock coming in from Gunpowder Beauty. So, we should just change that to what are they?
Klingon, not Klingons.
Frank? No.
What, the Ferengis?
No. Spock.
They're complete and total wimps. They run away from everything. Vulcans?
No, they're hardcore. In that one movie, they beat up people and stuff, I think. Thanos.
What are the things from Independence Day called? I don't know, but they're
bugs. Aren't they bugs?
I don't know.
No, I guess
I'm having trouble with this bug definition.
MIB would be more of the bugs.
That's true. The bug is they're more like an alien looking thing or whatever, ET looking thing, I should have said. So what are you putting that one in here? The independent. Do we know what they're called?
I don't. So
we need to see. There's no nerds in here. We think you'd have some nerd in here, like, oh, there's a bug or a non-bug alien versus robot thing. I'm gonna go in there. Nah, they're scared, cowards. So I got to spell Independence Day. All right. Woods is saying Marvin the Martian. Assuming he's not a bug. We're about to fill up our aliens here.
Yoda.
Meow. Is that an alien? Oh, you're saying
Most
Yoda
definitely.
specifically?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Aubrey from Little Shop of Horrors. What is that? Is that plant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, is that an alien?
Yeah, it is. Was that Woods?
This is what happens. No, that's a girl. That's what happens. One, when you let girls play, and two, when nobody else is saying anything.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
So we got, I think, 2 more aliens, and then we come up with some robots. We didn't have
Cylons.
to do them in order. Oh, look, we got a real thing.
Way to go.
Howard the Duck, for real? Put that in here. That's happening. Are y'all pro Howard the Duck or anti Howard the Duck? Usually don't. There's nobody in the middle on Howard the Duck.
Yeah. It was not a good movie.
5 minutes worth and I was out. What about Q from Star Trek Next Generation? That's about as omnipotent as you can get. That's like an all-powerful.
At least that's somebody to wail on Superman or not, instead of Superman just wiping the board with this whole thing because he's a cheater.
Nice.
So then that's it. There's no more aliens. If I missed any, that's the fault of the anti-gunners. So next up is robots. We got a whole bunch of robot slots here. Can we think of any robots? Uncle Martin, is that a robot?
How about Johnny Five?
Ugh, I hate that robot. Anything else?
Well, Mecha Godzilla's on your screen. I think Mecha Godzilla could be the runaway.
One of the best robots I've ever. True robot, not just some lame android or whatever. Gort. Is Uncle Martin a robot?
Who's Uncle Martin?
I don't know.
Chessboard is saying it.
R2D2 and CP3 or whatever.
Stepped on, dude.
Yeah.
R2.
What about the Daleks?
But I have a problem with R2 is that he does good stuff in some movies, and other movies are like, oh, what's happening? Oh, we're about to get smashed, or like, oh, I can't stick my thing into there and fix it or whatever. Like, you know, he's half the time he can save the day, and half the time he's like busy doing something else. And then in a whole bunch of them, he's turned off, right? So he's all right, but he seems kind of flaky.
Now, did you put down Transformers just as like Transformers in general, or are we going to pick a Transformer?
No, I forgot to put Transformers in here. We put them in as robots, or we were supposed to put them in as both, I think.
Both.
Not both, man. It's a robot. Come on. Fight me.
So I'm going to kill off Independence Day aliens because that's too long to write anyway, and I'm going to put in Decepticons. I don't know how to spell it. So cons, like that maybe. That way there's one under aliens that aren't bugs, because they are, and one under robots, because they are, and they get to fight each other, just in case they win. So, oh, the Uncle Martin was my favorite Martian. Okay. Oh, Bender, nice.
Yeah, Ray Walston.
We need 5 more.
Would the Daleks count?
More.
They're more of a cyborg because there's actually living being inside of it.
Cyborgs are robots, so if anybody has a problem with that, then they don't understand how it works. It's just a type of robot. So what is that? Is that the Doctor Who thing? That weird looking thing that they stole from Star Wars? What is it called?
Trash can with the
It's
plunger.
called a derelict. What's it called?
Dalek, D-A-L-E-K.
A doll.
And then how about?
Lick? Okay, I gotcha.
And then what about Sonny, the robot from iRobot? He's like he was the supreme version of all the iRobot robots. Those were pretty badass.
Megan,
Chappie?
she's
Where did
robot. See, because what happens when girls are playing. We got a girl robot in here now.
wh-
I've never
where
seen
does
that.
Robo?
Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and he makes a robot
Ooh.
kid?
How about RoboCop?
That's what I was just going to ask. Way to vibe. Which way does RoboCop go?
Well, he's not an alien. So RoboCop is a cyborg because he's a people and robot mixed together, which is people and robot mixed together. So unless you can divide them back again, then that's a robot. So RoboCop. So RoboCop has a 4.5 hour documentary right now. And if you like anything about RoboCop, it's the best thing ever because it's a 4.5 hours about RoboCop. And they interview everybody about everything. It's really, really good.
Maximilian. Wood said Maximilian is.
See, when he does it, I can just come over here. And I can just come over here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. And scroll up. Oh, come on. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I can just drag and drop. It's awesome. Okay,
So,
go ahead.
what about Herbie the Love Bug?
No, that's a possessed automobile, and those are fake.
Oh, Carrie's not one either.
No, those are fake.
No, you don't get my mother the car.
Stephen King is so anti-gun that nothing that he's ever made counts for anything I ever do. That guy wrote a fucking book about how anti-gun he is. Like, that guy makes so much money off of guns, and he's part of the problem because he writes dumbass fiction about guns, and he's warped, so he intentionally makes his fiction warped about guns, and then people in the culture who have no care in the world think that warped ass thing is just a part about guns. So I don't like that guy. I
Well,
always think he's creepy, and now I hate him. Go ahead.
not that it would give you pleasure, but he did get hit by a van.
Well, that's sad. I'm sorry for the van that got dented by that anti-gun dude. Kit the Night Rider. It's a robot. It counts. So we got one more. Who's gonna get it? Am I missing any that I forgot?
Chappie?
Chappie is awesome. A lot of people hate Chappie. Where are y'all on Chappie?
Thumbs down.
See, DJ hates it. G23. Chappie.
I don't know who that is, so I don't really have an opinion.
Okay, you've seen District 9?
No.
Oh, well, then you don't know what we're talking about. It's a movie that was made. There was a really cool movie made, and then that guy who made that movie made a second movie, and it's about a robot in South Africa, and it's like in a time in the near future, or like the kind of a now, or like in the very near future. So it's not like Blade Runner or something, the super future. It's kind of like now, except for there's
Roy.
I haven't watched any movie made after 01 except military movies.
Oh, well, this is sci-fi. It's epic. It's really, really good. But a lot of people hate it because it's South African and there's like weird punks in it, and it's kind of creepy and weird. What were you saying?
I say we replace the T-1000 with Roy.
Roy?
Roy.
What's Roy?
From Rutger Hauer in
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner?
Blade Runner, thank you.
Yeah.
He's the main bad guy in Blade Runner.
Why would we replace the T-1000?
Because you have the T-800.
Yeah. But the T-1000 is way better.
No.
Oh, shit. See? Robots are starting fights.
I mean, the T-1000 is a liquid that can turn into anything he wants to be.
I thought it was like a bunch of little things that do what they're told. Little tiny nanobites or some shit.
It can't turn itself into a gun. It can only be stabbing weapons and
That part's weird. I can be clothes, but I can't be a gun. Like I can't even look like a gun. Oh no, he couldn't be the gunpowder. He could be a gun, right? He just couldn't be a working gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, but well, it happened. So unless somebody's got an issue, we can, if there is an issue, we can do a quick beat it type of situation where we tie your wrists together and give you knives and you knife fight it out real quick. We'll all yell and snap our fingers while you're doing it, sitting on pallets behind some kind of factory. But unless somebody's got anything else to add to this thing, I think we'll get it going. So there's a lot of links out there. People could join if they wanted to, if they weren't so freaking scared to join. I'm going to try to zoom in, but because even though this thing's pretty good, it doesn't zoom in very good, really. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shuffle 3 times, and then I'm going to go around the room and let each of the panelists, because they became at another level when they joined in, they'll be able to decide if we hit shuffle one more time or they'll pass. So in other words, if they see some kind of combo that they don't like, they can say shuffle again, and it's possible that the robots will, reorganize to get rid of that conflict that they see, just to give them a little extra bonus for joining in tonight. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So right now we have all the aliens at the top, and none of them are bugs, and all of the robots at the bottom. And we're going to hit shuffle 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now I'll zoom in a little bit. We got I won't read it. You guys can see it. If anybody's got, I won't go around the thing, but each of you can call a reshuffle if you want, and we'll reshuffle. I guess I'll go through so people that are listening who might not be able to see the screen. We're going to have Thanos versus Q, Sunny versus Cylons, Robocop versus the Dalek from whatever, Klingons versus I think that's supposed to be Decepticons, Marvin the Martian versus Chappie, Wookiees versus Xenomorph, yuck, Superman versus the Coneheads, that's a fair battle, Howard the Duck versus Johnny Five, Megan versus Roy, Bender versus Maximilian, Transformers versus Gort, Predator versus Vulcans. That would be interesting, actually. Kit versus Mechagodzilla. T-800 versus Terminans. And then Alf versus Yoda. And then Audrey versus R2-D2. Who's
that
R2?
shuffle did a really good job. I'll stand pat with that. I like those matchups.
There's some weird ones in there. Anybody want to shuffle it?
I'm gonna say shuffle.
Okay. I won't read it all again. I'll just let everybody see it. I did shuffle it up a bit, but that gave everybody an idea of the kind of weirdness that we're about to deal with here.
I'm going to call for shuffle too. I don't like those matchups.
Okay, and this will be our final shuffle. So, I don't know. I'm not even going to show you. How about that? You don't even know until we get to them now, unless you've seen really good fast. I'm going to try something experimental. I'm going to pop this out and not be confined by the stupid thing. And instead, I'm going to use the length of my wide monitor to do this and not be confined by what the stupid browser decides is large or not. I think I might even be able to do this. Give me a minute to do this. This could go terribly wrong. I have this stretched across 3 monitors in a very dangerous way. But is that working? Can you actually see these way better now?
Way better. Thank you, G.
Okay. See, I'm not like some of those other chats that are like, I'm confined by what Windows says we should do. All right, here we go. So we got Roy. Who's Roy again? Oh, Blade Runner.
The replicant from Blade Runner. Yep, replicant.
And Xenomorph, the guy from Alien. Or not the queen, just some regular bug from Alien or whatever they're called. Xenomorph. So I can't see nothing anymore. All I see is this thing huge across 3 monitors. It's weird. But I'll just go DJ. What are you going for? You guys left
Xenomorph.
The thing.
Xenomorph. I'm open to. Did they go all the way?
Somebody, you guys just don't have to go around the thing every time. Just tell me what your votes are.
Xenomorph. I don't know either or.
I'm going to say Roy. He has one of the best soliloquies in a movie at the end of Blade Runner.
Agree.
Here's the thing. People killed that bug more than once. Predators kill that bug all the time. I'll bet you other things kill that bug all the time or whatever it is, a xenomorph, still a bug. And Roy's a fancy human. Technically, he's like a, really close to or maybe even better depending on human. He probably could analytically whale on that bug. So I'm giving it to the audience because we don't have anybody else who has the gonads to jump in tonight to be the tiebreaker. The audience gets to be the tiebreaker right now. So somebody will have to keep me informed on that because I can't see the audience or anything except the screen. We'll go on for us though. Transformers versus Gort.
Transformers.
Gort is that one from that one movie, right?
Yeah, Day the Earth Stood Still. Transformers.
Me too.
Yeah, I never paid enough attention to that movie to know what's so good about Gort. I'm pretty sure he was good against 1950s military, but I'm pretty sure Transformers would kick the shit out of him. Oops, just one. Plus, there's just one of him. There's like dozens and dozens of Transformers. I bet you just one of them cassette tape Transformers could take out Gort.
Nice.
Gunpowder Beauty says, I can't figure it out. I can't click on it though. Xenomorph plants an egg in it and bursts out of Roy's chest. Sorry, Roy. Zap. Would it work in there though? Would it turn into a robot alien, or would it not?
It worked in Alien. It was in their robot.
Oh, okay. Wait.
That's the first.
Lance Hendrickson's character, Bishop was his name? Bishop?
Yeah, the first one that had the pop out of the chest was an android.
Oh, really? I don't even remember that. I guess I have to go watch that movie again. It's been a long time since I watched Aliens. They're not my favorite movies, and everybody else talks about them so much that I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like I know them all the time, so I'll have to maybe put those in my lineup. Hopefully that's something that happens tonight. And I know when I'm in Matt's chat, I usually come out with some movie that I forgot about or that I haven't heard of. So hopefully people come up with something they can watch the rest of the week. Sorry, go ahead.
In the second movie, that's why Sigourney Weaver doesn't trust the robot in that one, is because of what happened in the first one.
I remember that tension or whatever. I just didn't remember. I thought that he just lied to her or something. I thought it was a dude that it popped out of. Did it pop out of more than one person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's wrong then. Okay, that's what's wrong. So, what did I do? I think I was trying to open too many things. So, did anybody come up with a tiebreaker on Roy versus Xenomorph? Oh, wait, Gunpowder Beauty did, right?
Xenomorph, and then there's two Roys, Woods and Ozzy.
Oh, there is?
Roy. Yep.
So that makes it 5. Looks like Roy's taking that one, beating up on the girl. It's what happens sometimes. Then we got Transformers winning here, and then we got T-800, regular Transformer, versus Megan. Megan is, I don't even know what that is. Is that the one from an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or is it something else?
No, that's something else.
What is it? Anybody?
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I'm guessing the Terminator's going to kick its ass then, unless it's super good. So anybody vote for Megan?
No.
Mm-mm.
How about Maximilian versus, I don't know what Termins is.
Oh, the Thermians. I'll say Maximilian.
What are the Thermians?
That's from Galaxy Quest, the kind of goofy, geeky aliens.
Oh, so Maximilian's evil and a robot, so he's just going to wail on him?
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay. So Kit versus the Coneheads. This is actually a pretty interesting one.
Kit.
You don't think the Coneheads are going to do something weird and wail on a robot car? All you can do is drive around and do cookies around them and donuts or whatever.
Nah, the Coneheads will do something weird, but it's not going to do anything to Kit.
Make some kind of joke and then he runs him over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kit doesn't need sub sandwiches or anything like that.
Yell at him. They'll yell at Kit to maintain low tones.
How many people in watching this even know what the Coneheads are? Because I'll bet you the youngins don't even know what the hell we're talking about. I barely remember the Coneheads. So Superman versus the R2-D2 robot from a movie called Star Wars. Looks like a trash can with wheels.
Uh-huh.
Half the time he can fly, and sometimes he's useless.
The sad thing is I picked both of these, so I'm gonna have to go with Superman.
Yeah, I can't imagine what R2D2 would do to do anything to Superman. Anyone pick an R2D2?
I want to. I have a remote control R2D2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If it's Superman versus R2D2, if we look at the first bracket, we have the xenomorphs being defeated by a replicant that expires in 7 years. The xenomorph can just outlast it. So is this one? Would they kick each other's ass, or which one's cooler? I'm getting a little confused, G.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That goofy-looking bug thing could just book it, and then that robot would just die in 7 years, and then the robot could do whatever it wanted for the rest of the time. And they live a long time. So, but what could R2D2 do to Superman? Is he going to wing kryptonite?
Nothing.
You're going to get kryptonite from?
Comic relief.
Yeah, he's going to go beep, 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 and get squished by a Superman or whatever he does. Wing him into the sun or some shit.
Recycling center for R2.
The one problem I have with Superman is he is way overpowered and has every power. It's just kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
It's not even worth watching it usually. That is interesting because they write them interesting at least, do something. But usually the thing that they do is like, oh, he was accidentally looking to the left or whatever, like just some dumb thing that he could have avoided easily. Anyhow, the real question would be, how would Superman squish R2D2, or what would he do to R2D2? So you're welcome. You can figure out what. I don't know how many other chats are out there suggesting, giving you the mental image of how Superman is going to fight R2D2. But, would he make a big deal about it, or would he just subtly laser eye him or whatever?
Crush him into a little ball and throw him into
probably
space.
Melt him with laser eyes.
He'll recycle him.
I got nothing against R2D2. I'm just saying I don't like Superman all that much, but I can see what's happening in this. I can see the result of this one. But R2D2, maybe he's got some kind of kryptonite, them laser swords that the Jedi Knights use. You heard of them? They have some kind of crystal in there. What if he does have some sort of a kryptonite? Or maybe Superman's only never flown to Krypton, but he doesn't even know there's something worse than kryptonite, and that's like in R2D2's, some kind of system he's got in there in his hand or something.
He's got some R2 doo-doo.
Anyway, that's trying to give R2D2 a little credit. Like Wood says, he's, I guess I can click on this. It's going to mess up everything. That he's saved the rebellion many times over. There we go. This is really taxing my computer, I think. So next up is Mechagodzilla versus Yoda. I think this one is actually interesting because if anybody's going to go up against Mechagodzilla besides Superman,
I'm going Yoda.
I think Yoda's got a chance. Is this Yoda when he's old and about to die, or is this Yoda when he's in his prime?
Young Yoda.
I'm going to say Mechagodzilla.
I'm with Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla being a AI-driven thing on its own. Mechagodzilla being the one kind of critter that got killed and is actually running the Mechagodzilla as a ghost, or Mechagodzilla as a human pilot running Mechagodzilla.
I'll say the original,
which is a robot that people made and it just runs around on its own for some reason. It has AI in it.
Yeah, the later movie where the guy was plugged in, I really didn't like that. I had the same problem I have with the more modern Transformers, is the robot is way too complex mechanically.
Too many moving parts and not good for battle. Yeah, it doesn't look like armor anymore. It looks like somebody's trying to make a cool looking model. So we're getting. So what did everybody else say? So what is that? 2 Yodas? Or no? Was that a Mechagodzilla and a Yoda? So what's DJ saying?
I said Mechagodzilla. Yeah, I proposed them both, and I think it'd be a great battle kind of thing. But I want Mechagodzilla to squash the little dude, even though I love Yoda.
Yeah, I don't got no problem with Yoda, but Mechagodzilla is the best, so I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to the fucking audience, fuckers. All right, so then we'll let them decide because if we value their input. Then we'll go to Q versus the Cylons. All of the whole Cylons, all of them, both the old 80s and the new ones versus lame ass Q, who just is essentially Superman, except he's even more.
Q.
He is Q is the most powerful thing on the board. But
Yep.
I love the Cylons. The 70 Cylons, the only Cylons I recognize.
Oh, snap. Now it's turning into 70 Cylons unless somebody changes it. That's how it works.
And I just learned something cool about that original series and the Cylons just last night, or this morning, I should have said, that the actors in the suits were out-of-work NBA players. It's like big, tall ones. Didn't know that.
So I don't know anything about the Cylons, and I barely remember anything about Q. So I think I'll give my vote to the audience.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Cylons. So we can either have a tie or everybody else will vote Cylons, I guess. But I know that Q's powerful, but I hate Q. So I don't like those cheat characters that just let them make easy stories or, let them cheat with their story, things that don't connect or whatever. Everybody's picking Q, so we're going to have some kind of weird tie now. What was the verdict on Mechagodzilla versus Yoda? How are you guys reading that? I'm seeing a tie. No. Woods and Gunpowder are Yoda. And Chessboard and Ozzy are Gojira. Mecha-Gojira. Oh, we got to vote for Cylons. But it looks like, what do we have? Like 1, 2, 3 for Q. 5 to 3. All right, well, what are you thinking on Mechagodzilla Yoda? Where are y'all reading that? Is that Yoda?
How many votes from the audience?
I'd say it's a pain in the ass flip back and forth. I got Yoda and Yoda from Woods and Gunpowder. And then I got Gojira from Chessboard and Ozzy. So it's
okay, so it's 2-2 out there, and were we 2-2 on the panel?
Yeah, it looks like I don't know how are we gonna break the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
I guess I can go get a dice if we have to, or somebody could man up and join
Hey.
in and be the tiebreaker.
Woman, who do you want to pick, Yoda or Mechagodzilla? Mechagodzilla, some Japanese.
Say it. Mecha-Gojira. And then she'll understand. Mecha-Gojira.
He says it's Mecha-Gojira. So you say Yoda?
That's how it got decided. It happened. All right, now we got Audrey versus Elf. Two that I barely know. Audrey is... Who is Audrey?
The flower.
Oh, that's right. And then Elf. Oh, man. Does Elf eat the flower, or does the flower eat Elf?
Audrey eats Alf, and it's a good day when that happens. Death to all Melmacians.
Yeah, I'm not an Elf fan. I say Audrey.
The son of a bitch ate cats.
I'm saying Alf, and I own cats.
I hate Elf, but I also could care less about that plant, but I also hate Elf, so that's happening. The things, the goofy-looking round things, robots from Doctor Who, and the Decepticons, if I knew how to spell it right. Decepticons, like that? I have no idea how to spell it. So the Daleks from Doctor Who or the Decepticons? I don't even know if I've ever watched a whole episode of Doctor Who. I always get weird.
Decepticons.
I'm with G23.
I'm torn. I like both of them.
Here's what's happening. I'm hitting Decepticon, so
All right, I'll say Daleks then.
All right, so now we go Predator versus Klingons. I think that one is actually, that would be a movie. I would watch that movie, I think.
I'm going Klingons.
Do the Predators land on the Klingon planet and just start whaling on them, like predatoring them? Or do the Klingons like land on the Predator planet and get whaled on? Or what's happening? Predator goes and attacks planets, you know what I'm saying? So don't they think they'd go to the Klingon planet and be like, hell yeah, I'm jumping down there and grabbing one? Oh, sorry, did anybody vote on this one yet? Predator versus Klingons.
Predator.
I said Klingon.
I would say Klingon.
I'm going Predator. We're giving it to the audience. Next we have Vulcans. Every single Vulcan versus Bender. Or maybe a single Vulcan versus Bender.
The cartoon, Bender. Just to be clear. Okay.
But Bender's essentially superhuman. He's really good.
That's another one where I like both.
I'm going to go Bender.
Yeah,
just because that's the only one I know.
I don't like Vulcans all that much. I don't like their gang symbols that they're always flashing.
I'll give my vote to the audience.
We got Predator, 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 3 Predators, if I'm reading that right. And is there any Klingons? Klingons are like dingleberries, so I don't think that's a Klingon vote. I don't think there's any. So it looks like Predators won against Klingons. And did we get any votes for Vulcans? Everybody's voting Bender, so Bender's winning that one. Sonny, iRobot versus RoboCop. Well, at least that's fair, kind of. That's pretty fair, I suppose.
RoboCop.
Is this first RoboCop or second RoboCop where he has fast mode?
I refuse to watch the remake, so.
I'd say I've only seen the original.
Dude, I watched that 4.5-hour documentary about the original, and they didn't even talk about the remake. I'm gonna have to watch it again just to see if I missed about the remake. And now that you said that, I don't even think about it. I don't think they even talked about the remake. It's really just about the first one. But what is it about the second one that you don't like?
I didn't like the way he looked.
Okay. Yeah, he looked creepy as hell in the second one. Anybody else? Did DJ give this one to the audience also?
No, I'm going to vote for Sonny.
So we got 1-2, right? I'll give it to Sonny also. That'll give it to the audience because that's how generous we are with the input from the people who are joining us live. This isn't some lame TV show where we write a script in order to get you to get motivated to get angry and listen in tomorrow, or get angry and buy something and listen in tomorrow. Nah, we're just doing a live show to keep people, together when we need to be together for like the comment period that we should be wailing on and people are completely ignoring. It gives us an opportunity to mention stuff like that. So, next, so we're gonna wait for RoboCop versus Sonny. Ed 209, you mean? We got nothing but we got one Sonny and nothing but RoboCops. So RoboCop is gonna kick that one up, and then Chappie, Howard the Duck. A classic duck versus robot.
Howard the Duck, because I don't know who Chappie is.
It's an awesome ass. He's like an AI. There's robot cops that are just programmed robots, like they just are doing what they're told kind of robots. They're just following some kind of logarithms. But then this guy, a scientist, comes up with an AI in his lab or whatever. And then they're chasing him or something happens and he shoves the AI into one of the robots. So one robot has AI in it. It's an actual robot. All the other ones are just the like regular robots, but he shoves them into a prototype, so he's yellow or something. He's not an actual robot cop. He's just like the prototype that they use in the testing facility or something like that. Or no, he was a regular cop that got damaged, so they were gonna like shit can him. So he had, I don't know, there's like a whole thing. But anyway, so essentially he's a decommissioned robot cop that gets an AI put into him. So now he's a sentient entity, and he gets stolen by a South African gang, essentially, and they start using him to rob banks and shit. And the scientist, and it's a whole thing. So it's really cool, and the special effects make it look like the robot's just hanging out with people. Like it's like a really good visual. So it just looks like there's a robot, in the future walking around. It's really neat. So a lot of people hate it though, because it's hard to watch, I guess. If you hate listening to weird punks in South Africa, it'd be really weird. So I don't know why they wiped all that on it. They really did make it hard to watch. I understand.
Yeah, when they gave him the necklace.
Yeah, kind of weird. Like, I don't know why they insisted on wiping all that. I mean, I guess they were trying to make it like a different kind of sci-fi, than the standard, and they did, but it also made it like very unappetizing for a lot of people. It's like, hey, it would make this great putting licorice all over it or anchovies. It's like, some people are gonna like it, but most people aren't gonna like that part. Yeah, I don't know what to shoot. The punks were like more like rave punks. Like, they weren't thugs. They were like, I don't know, what are they? Gen Z, Gen something, young, like raver punks, like all in neon and stuff. So they paint their guns neon colors, and they give the robot a neon paint job. So it's weird, but that's maybe how it is in South Africa. I don't know how it is in South Africa. And they speak South African, right? Like that weird English South African accent. Some people
Afrikaans. Yeah, it's Afrikaans.
Yeah, really heavy too, right? Like, don't even bother. Like I said, they're trying to not be a typical sci-fi movie, which is what I like about it. One of the things I like about it. Anyway, Howard the Duck. A lot of people hate it, but Howard the Duck, the comic and stuff, like he was like Howard Stern of comics or something. Like he was.
He's actually pretty. Supposed to be kind of powerful, but he's got like undefined magical powers. I don't know. I say Chappie though.
Yeah,
so do I.
He was a comic type of thing, but yeah, technically he was an alien with all kinds of, resource. But everybody's saying Chappie. Wait, what happened?
I vote Chappie.
I voted Howard.
Okay, so that was. Did you say Chappie also, Fox?
Chappie.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's Chappie, of course. I don't have the problem with the duck, but Gizzard isn't here, so we don't have to foul around. Wookiee versus Johnny Five, the worst robot ever and horrible movie. Wookiee versus Johnny Five. I think Wookiee would wing Johnny Five into the water, and he'd rip off all his arms while he's doing it.
With pleasure. Wookiee, please.
And what did that guy say? Like, oh no, or some dumbass saying like he would be doing that.
No,
as
disassemble.
Yeah, that. He'd be
Stephanie.
Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Five's alive. That thing like jumping around. I just pictured the Wookiee just tearing him apart.
Were you voting for Johnny Five?
I vote Wookiee, but I did like Short Circuit.
Everybody likes that movie.
I'm voting Wookiee, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean Johnny Five movie was funny.
I don't like anybody in it. I think that's my other thing. I didn't like it because it also made the military look dumb. Like they're just accidentally making robots that didn't know what's going on. But anyway, I probably haven't watched it since whenever it came out, and that was like 1982 or something, right? Like it was an old movie.
Yeah, but it has a young Ali Sheedy in it, and there's also, isn't there like a? No, I can't remember. I was about to say there's a pug in it, but I saw that in the theater, and I was like a little too old for it when it came out, so I can't remember. I remember Ali Sheedy.
Well, whenever I got this dude, I was obligated to go on the internet and type in what are all the movies with a pug in it, and I pretty much watched every movie with a pug in it to see if he looks like any of them. So I don't remember having to watch that, but I hate that movie so much that I might not have watched that movie just because I didn't need to.
Short Circuit had the star power of Steve Gutenberg.
That's the guy that I can't.
That's
stand.
right.
hate that guy. Well, him and some of the other people, but I didn't really, especially at that time when he would like kind of prance all around, being weird. I didn't get it. All right, so Thanos, Marvin the Martian.
I'm giving my vote to the audience.
I'm gonna say Marvin just because I like Marvin better.
And I'm gonna say Thanos because I like him.
Oh, hold on. Here's the deal. So Woods is going, come on, seriously? Woods is saying, is this like the two are fighting each other or which ones we like better? So I guess we didn't actually decide on that, but essentially this is a battle, and whichever one we like better is going to win, right? That's how I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm with Voss. It has to be a balance of both because, again, you just go back to that first bracket, the first matchup, and it's just like it has to be like a combination of the two. Otherwise, we start over.
Like, even if you hate Q or Superman, like, they're probably going to cream R2D2 or whatever. Like, that one wasn't, you couldn't. But if it's, like, kind of even, I think you're allowed to see the good stuff of the people you like or the robot you like, and then the bad stuff of the alien you don't like or whatever. But you could also be on the panel, and then you'd be able to manipulate the results ethically. So next is Thanos and Marvin the Martian. I feel like G23 on this one. I could almost care less. I like Marvin the Martian cartoons when I was a kid, but too many people are rubbing it around all the time. Not that I mean, there was only like 2 Marvin the Martian cartoons, wasn't there? Unless I'm mistaken. Like,
very few. You're right. Very few.
Like, well, he was also in Space Jams.
Oh, see, I've never seen any of that movies. That's the sports movies. Then that makes
I haven't seen any of those either.
I've never even seen one. Okay.
Well, it's like this. Thanos beat the crap out of the Hulk. So I have to go with the Hulk over Marvin because Marvin needed the Q45 plutonium, whatever the thing. I used to have it memorized. So no way. It's got to be Thanos.
Was it saying he blows up planets to get a better view? Like, I remember that part. And he was always trying to rule the world, but he's also like getting smashed into the wall by Roadrunner or whatever.
Well, and didn't Bugs Bunny eventually like kick his ass or confuse him like into pieces or some damn thing?
Yeah, he did
like
one of
Bugs
those.
Bunny
Like,
can
oh
beat
no,
you.
it's alien season. He's like, oh no, it's rabbit season. No, it's alien season, and then he shot himself or something weird.
So if you can catch him in a simple verbal conundrum, come
on. So what are we getting on this one? Thanos?
I said Marvin.
Oh, you did. And Woods is definitely saying Marvin. Didn't you give your vote to the audience?
I did.
I don't see anything else besides Marvin's out there, in fact. So it looks like Marvin is taking that one to the streets.
Yeah, Gunpowder said Thanos.
Well, but still, nowhere near as many as we had for the other Marvin. Plus, we're already an hour in, so let's get digging in. So now that we all know, well, we have a couple of ties, I guess, that we didn't come up with. Wait, did we? Kit won this one. Superman won this one. Okay, I'm wrong. We're good. Okay, so it goes quicker for people that are never joined in before because now that we've talked about them, now it's just a matter of seeing the shifting, but we all know what we're talking about. So Roy from Blade Runner versus Transformers.
I'm going to say Roy.
Transformers.
DJ?
Xenomorph. I'll give my vote to the audience.
I can't see how that dude is going to stop all the Transformers or even a Transformer. If I was a Transformer and I wanted to wail on somebody that's a human, I would just act like a car in front of them until they got in me and then just transform. And then they'd be shredded, right?
Nice. Your cleaning bill would be pretty steep, but nice.
Jump in the water. Jump in a lake or whatever. We got one for Roy and one for Transformers, which essentially cancels each other out. So you could think of Gunpowder Beauty came running in to vote for Transformers and Woods came running in to vote for Roy, and they both opened the door at the same time and they both ran in, but then they both knocked each other in the head and fell out and passed out laying on the thing. So they both effectively canceled each other's vote out. Hopefully they're all right. DJ or probably rock over there with a washcloth or something. make sure they're okay. Then Ozzy came in. That was the last vote. Transformers. So boom. Also, at this point, we're not waiting around. So if you want to vote in the audience, you're not doing yourself any favors by waiting. All right, so hopefully Gunpowder and Woods have woken up by now. T-800 versus Maximilian.
Maximilian.
T-800.
Was Night Strike in here? What the fuck? It sounded like Night Strike. You said it's one of each, DJ?
The T-800, please.
So, yeah, I can't see Maximilian doing anything to Terminator. Maybe getting one zap at him before Terminator pretty much does horrible stuff to Maximilian. I think Maximilian's pretty much made to like turn knobs in 1980s spaceships and then like essentially like taser people once in a while if they get too close to his knobs.
If you're holding the book, he can kill you.
Yeah.
What? I don't remember that.
He could just hover above him forever. I don't remember what his power cell was like or whatever. But he could fly away from the Terminator.
Well, he could, but then Terminator would like wing something at him. You know what I mean? Like Terminator ain't going to be content with just like, oh, I can't reach him. But Kit, Superman. How does Superman destroy Kit?
That would be like pretty easy.
Chuck him into space.
Fly him into the sun.
What is happening? Some kind of alarm clock is happening. Oh, my phone.
Do you have it set? Because you normally do the chats at 9.
I used to, and I haven't turned that phone off. It just sounded weird. Something's weird about that alarm. Maybe my battery's low or something. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying. I thought of maybe somehow just to be mean to Kit, he would like squish him into a rock or something, like on a cliff, and then Kit couldn't do nothing about it. Once he squished into a rock, he would just have to sit there looking at whatever he was looking at or something. You know, in other words, he could do something to him, stick him in some ice or something, to where Kit would still be kicking, but he wouldn't be able to do nothing about it. I don't know if Superman's vengeful like that or not, because, yeah, he could just wad him up into a ball, I guess.
Superman could use him as a Hot Wheel car.
That's what I was thinking, too, is like get in Kit and then drive him straight into a wall, and Kit couldn't do shit about it. And then Superman would just walk away. Or
I think that every third generation Trans Am should have its ass kicked. So, Superman.
Yeah, I don't really like him either. All right. Well, we all knew Superman was going to win that one. Hopefully, maybe this one will happen. Yoda, Q.
I'll say Q.
So will I.
I'm going Yoda.
Yeah, I'm also going Yoda, which means that the audience gets to decide Yoda versus Q. I know that Q's so good or whatever, but stupid Enterprise wails on him all the time by tricking him. Yoda would be smarter than the Enterprise. And he'd zap him or stick him with a laser sword. In Star Wars, they have laser swords.
Well, they don't really trick Q. Q is teaching them a lesson, so he's allowing them to figure out what he wants them to know.
Maybe Yoda would do some kind of a mind trick on Q, where Q would let Yoda teach Q a lesson by killing Q with a laser sword.
What?
You have an omnipotent being versus a scaly, hunchback, like 800-year-old green thing.
Q
Like,
can.
I love Yoda, but Q would just kick his ass.
Q can
man.
redefine what existence is.
Case closed. Let's go home.
Yes, but Yoda can telepathically communicate.
So he
So
can tell
Q.
other people, help me.
Yeah, like,
Die?
hey, I'm being killed by Q. But so can Q. Like,
He could like
do that.
he could then, go into Q's mind and like
No,
plant something backwards.
no.
You trying, but you
Oh,
ain't winning,
Jedi
man.
mind trick. No, that's what I'm saying. He could do some kind of Jedi mind trick, or he could do a bunch of Jedi mind tricks on somebody like the Enterprise crew, and then Q would get sentimental and stop fighting or something. I don't know.
I would rather hang out with Yoda, but there's just no denying he would kick his ass.
We're getting votes for Yoda out in the chat, is what I'm saying. There's no votes for Q. So maybe Q is the victim of being a dick, but
Yeah.
here's what's happening. Yoda's not going to beat Superman, so Superman is going to not fight Q, and that will mean Superman's going to win. So if you don't vote for Q, you are voting for Superman. It's like voting for whatever and not voting for Hillary or some shit like that. So at this point, unless anybody else is going to say anything, we have to go Yoda because we left it up to the audience, and the audience is choosing Yoda. So Audrey the plant versus the Decepticons. Metal versus organic plant.
Decepticons.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't like that movie, and I hate musicals, so there's no way I'm voting for that. And Predator and Bender.
Predator.
Bender.
Bender.
Bender's pretty crazy, so I'm giving that to Bender. Although Predator would run around and stuff, but Bender would somehow comically kill him, and in a funny way. So RoboCop or Chappie?
RoboCop.
Robo.
Me too.
Chappie is sentient, and he is the robot. So he's not RoboCop trying to work robot parts of himself. So I'm giving it to Chappie, although it doesn't. It's just a whatever that's called, a ceremonial vote for Chappie, I guess. And a fluorescent yellow painted AK, which is something everybody should have. Or was it fluorescent green? Either one. You can have either one if you want. If you look underneath of your chairs, certain people who did join the chat today were gifted a AK-47 painted in fluorescent green or yellow. We knew ahead of time what you were going to want, and that's what we put underneath of your chair. If you didn't show up, there's no AK under there probably, unless we made a mistake. So the next one up is Wookiee versus Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos could kick the Hulk's ass. Got to be kicking a Wookiee's ass. So I'm gonna have to give up my Wookiee card, man. I have to go Thanos. They're gonna hate me.
So my question is how did Thanos win if Marvin has 5 votes?
Oh, because I hate Marvin, I guess, and I didn't have any interest in. I was trying to just scam it on by. So Marvin versus Wookiee.
Wookiee.
Oh, changes DJs.
I'm gonna have to go with Wookiee.
Dang it! I got to figure out how to get a 0 in here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I hate Marvin, so boop, Wookiee. It's got to be frustrating for people that had a link and then didn't join in because they were chicken. And now they're seeing their favorites get slaughtered in the competition because they were chicken. They stood by and didn't join in and be part of this whole thing. I'm trying to figure out. I may have. No, I figured it out. I thought I maybe screwed myself over, but I think I figured it out. Transformers versus T-800.
I'm sticking with the Transformer.
Yeah, Transformers.
Would you want to see this movie?
No.
Yes.
Yes, I would want to see the Transformer versus T-800.
I thought you meant the Transformer movie.
No. Sorry, yeah. Would you want to see a movie where the Transformer versus Terminator? I
Yes.
kind of do now. I mean, maybe not every Transformer because that'd be kind of fake, but I guess you could probably slaughter through all of them though. But sorry. So is anybody voting for Transformer? Or I mean for Terminator?
I am. Terminator against some toys? Hell yeah.
See, that's the thing. They're constantly like, because they like show off that they can flip around or whatever. And he's like, I can poke my eye out, but otherwise I'm just killing things. And he pretty much kills stuff pretty good. But he's only one, and there's a bunch of them. So because of that bird transformer that comes out of a cassette tape, sorry, Terminator, even though Terminator is probably formidable there. Superman versus the character called Yoda in a movie called Star Wars. Yoda, is he smart enough to come up with kryptonite laser sword?
Well, little known fact, Yoda is green, and that's actually kryptonite skin. So there's no way that Superman could do anything. You just have to like jump around. He's got his lightsabers going on, hop on his back, and you just crumble.
I don't know how his force power would match up against Superman's physical power.
I think he'd hold Superman like he does an entire, like when they what are you trying to say? Like a giant ship is trying to leave the planet's atmosphere, and a Jedi can just hold on to it. That's what Superman. He'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna fly away. Oh, maybe I'm not."
But some of the comics, Superman can actually move planets.
Whoa.
That's part of what I was saying with the overpowered, because he has some kind of bullshit psi power that keeps the planet from crushing as he's moving it.
Yeah, see, that seems fake. But I just think that if anybody's going to outsmart a Superman, and many people have outsmarted Superman, and he's been dead before multiple times, as far as I know. So,
I think I'd have to go Yoda. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Yoda.
I'm saying if Superman is Yoda's minding his business, doing whatever Yoda does, eating a bug or looking at a lizard or something in that tree that he lives in, Superman comes down and just kills this whole planet with laser eyes. Yeah, Yoda's fucked. But if Yoda knows that they're gonna go meet at the tree or wherever, and they're gonna fight, and he knows who Superman is, he's bringing a kryptonite sword and he's gonna kill the hell out of Superman. So I'm giving it to Yoda if there's a kryptonite sword. But we all know that Yoda's sword is green, so I'm assuming it's kryptonite sword.
I'll say Yoda.
Oh man, we just got rid of Superman and made it fair. GJ, for the record.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm Superman.
See, trying to be pragmatic and didn't even work. So now Decepticons versus Bender.
I think I'm gonna have to go Decepticons.
I'm gonna say Bender.
Yeah, Bender's sarcastic as hell, and he smokes cigars. I'm with him.
Well, look at this guy. He's all upset because of Howard the Duck got kicked out so early in the competition. And he's saying, if you got a Yoda miniature, is that a toy Yoda?
No, a Toyota is actually a part of the truck.
I've never heard that before. That is like a really bad joke. But it's great.
Also has a link. Scared to join in. So, okay, so Chessboard is saying about being late. We normally start this at midnight Eastern. We started this, I think, an hour and a half or 2 hours early or something. Decepticons, Bender. Did anybody vote Bender?
I voted Bender.
I did.
Oh.
There's two right there.
And you said Decepticons? I like to think Bender's pretty smart, but Decepticons are smart and evil, and can they just absorb Bender or something? I like Bender, but I think Decepticons would whoop Bender. And I think we're going to end up with Decepticons versus Transformers unless something happens here. So, wait. That means that it's a tie. It's not like anything happened here. So that goes to the audience. Guess what? You are now obligated with the responsibility of deciding between Decepticons and Bender. You can participate by typing your opinion into the chat, and we will incorporate that into our datalytics. I don't use analytics like a lot of places. I use datalytics. Somebody's jumping in here. Let's see who it is. Oh, it's a girl. Do we let her in?
Yep.
I'm assuming it's a girl. Is this the girl or the dude?
Well, in this year, you can be whatever.
It's the girl. Okay, so you're now playing the role of the tiebreaker.
Okay, I like that.
We got. I guess we're on RoboCop versus the Wookiee. Is that happening? Or no? Yeah, this one is. Oh no, you can be the tiebreaker on this one. See what kind of power you get by jumping into a chat like this instead of just watching it. Watchers, yeah, you got some power because you're looking at whatever's happening and you're technically the true power behind everything that happens. But the people that jump in and dance around, they get to play with their power. So Decepticons, Bender.
What's a Decepticon?
The bad guys in Transformers.
Is that Bumblebee or not Bumblebee?
Good guy. So the other side, the bad guys who were trying to wail on Bumblebee.
Is that Megatron or they're the same team?
Megatron, Starscream.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say Bender then.
Aren't the cassettes bad guys?
Yeah.
Which sucks because the cassettes are the best things.
Couldn't or wouldn't like the Decepticons play to Bender's dark side and get the Bender to then join them?
No.
I think they totally would, and Bender might even because he's Bender. So
Well,
sorry, which one did you choose, Angelina?
I chose Bender.
Okay.
Bender would join them and then rob them.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt. Shake
And
him down.
He'd be like, which one of you can transform into a still? Gizzard his excuse is long weekend going to Kansas. So long weekend in Kansas. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully, so I'm assuming you had a good drive home.
So wouldn't that just be he stayed close to home?
It's a staycation for him. They bring it when you're at a level of Gizzard, they bring TriggerCon to you. RoboCop versus Wookiee.
RoboCop.
This is just
Robo.
what do they call that? Family style. Everybody's just throwing in their votes.
It's a free for all. You just yell it out and
So we got Angelina and DJ. RoboCop, Wookiee.
RoboCop.
Wookie.
I'm going Wookiee also, so it doesn't matter. RoboCops wins. All right, so now this got to be super frustrating. Imagine being in the audience and thinking you had all the power just moments ago because you were determining like most of the ties, and now you just have to watch what happens. And it's a reckless girl voting on stuff. So we got Transformers versus Yoda.
Transformers.
damn, I'm like really torn because
He's got a laser sword. He can jump all around.
yeah, but I don't know. I think the Transformers would gang up on him and get him from different directions. So damn. I'm gonna go Yoda just because.
DJ, Angelina?
Yoda against some toys? Yoda.
I think I'm gonna go last.
Then I'll go Transformers mainly to make you have to break a tie.
And the thing is I picked Transformers and I just voted against him.
Well, that's what happens though, because we're just throwing stuff out there. This is the luck of the randomness of battle or whatever.
I'm gonna vote with my emotions, as most women do, and go for Yoda.
And that seems what the audience wanted. So Transformers is not beating the Decepticons. Oh no, I guess the Decepticons lost a minute ago anyway. So now we got Bender, RoboCop. That's actually interesting.
RoboCop.
Would you rather watch a RoboCop Bender movie in like CGI or a RoboCop Bender movie animated?
Animated.
Me too.
3D.
Oh wait, so I didn't make anything. What did you guys say? Bender?
I say Bender, animated.
I didn't write down any votes. I don't know who's voted.
I said RoboCop.
Okay.
And I say Bender.
That's a tough one. I think Bender, and he would be funny while he killed RoboCop. Because he's an actual robot. RoboCop's trying to figure it out. That's everybody, right? Yeah, 5. So, boom. That means Bender moves. Yoda moves. Is this happening? Who saw this coming? Bender versus Yoda.
I would
really
never.
thought it was going to be Q Superman. I thought it was going to be Q Superman.
I had kind of figured the Transformers would have been in it versus either it would have been like Transformers, Superman, or Q, one of those two.
So next time we do one of these, somebody remind me to have people call. So we should do something where if somebody can call what the end is going to be, especially on a versus one like this, where hopefully everybody dug this one where we did robots versus aliens, because then you don't know if 2 robots are going to end or 2 aliens are going to end fighting, right? So if somebody can call a 60, wait, was this a 32 slot thing? That would be pretty neat, right? So let's give people the opportunity to do that next time. I just forgot to do it. But anyhow, so anybody voting on this one? Yoda versus Bender.
Yoda.
I got to put a line out here because people were just voting on stuff. So I want to put a line out here for the people in the audience who want to. Now you have to vote again, just so we know that once that line happened, now you're voting on the actual end.
If anyone out there wants their choice to win, you just need to mail a $20 bill with your choice to Arizona, care of gearwebsites.com. And in 10 days to 2 weeks, he will let you know if they won.
Yeah, we'll have a show where we're talking about it. Woods is saying Bender. Oh, sorry. Did somebody already vote? Did you already vote, G23?
Yeah, Yoda.
What's going on? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. Okay.
Bender.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yoda.
Well, I got to give it to Yoda. Bender's cool, but the laser sword jumping all around. Angelina?
I'm going to say Bender.
So now we have it 2-3. Let's see what people are saying out here. Yoda, and a Bender. So we're getting, even if we include everybody's vote, like some sort of weird socialist communist situation, boom, Yoda's still winning. And it's because of the laser sword. For me, it's a laser sword. What about for y'all? Is it something else? Like could be able to jump around or all the other stuff Jedis can do? Move them around by just yanking them or pushing them or whatever?
I think his ability to use his mind would screw up Bender.
The telekinesis alone is going to make Yoda win this.
Or he could just
bend Bender, for God's sake.
He could just figure out what Bender wants and give him a bunch of beers and a cigar, and then they would just be friends, maybe.
Whiskey and cigar would then make Bender, forfeit.
And Yoda would have another ally. So with his 300 or 800 years of experience, I think the little one is the baby Yoda's 300, right? Or is he 50? I don't know.
I think 50.
Okay. So is Yoda 300? DJ said 800. Now I'm all mixed up. But however old he is, he would have some wisdom, and he might have figured out that Yoda or Bender's a cool dude, and they're just upset because Bender needs some whiskey and cigars.
Yeah, my bad. I thought that Dagobah era Yoda was 800 years old. But H3s and 5s get jumbled for me.
So that's what we ended up doing. A lot of people were working on, I don't know, comments for the ATF comment periods where they're suggesting that any sale of a firearm that creates a profit means you need to be an FFL. So that means you would not be able to transfer a firearm to anyone because you'd make a profit and you'd be termed to be trying to be an FFL without a license. So essentially create a dumb quagmire to distract people from, I don't know, let's use the fentanyl epidemic, which is a true health epidemic, 170,000 overdoses, not quite double, what it was just a few years ago. So instead of actually worrying about a border, some kind of soft war with China where all the precursor chemicals are coming from, some kind of lack of attention to the international criminal organizations that have distribution lines across the international borders to bring that stuff into our country, and why it's being allowed to be distributed across the country. Instead of all that, they want to suggest that guns are a health issue with 40,000 deaths each year. We know that 24,000 of those 40 are suicides. Most of those are military members, and they're going to stand on those grave sites and suggest that the 40,000 is a health epidemic while they ignore the 170 from fentanyl alone, not to mention any other political failure that you could point to that guns are a convenient distraction from. So yeah, they have a comment period going now. It shouldn't be something that's a struggle for us. We've gone through at least a half a dozen comment periods since I've been paying attention. I might have been paying attention a little longer than some people, but I can tell you that this is something we should be able to do in stride, the same way that we would casually catch a softball as we were walking to our destination from some kids playing ball, and we could just toss it back to them. We wouldn't have to stop everything and make a big deal about it. We could just lift our arm, catch the softball, throw it right back to them, and keep moving. And that's what we should be able to do at these comment periods. It takes nothing to go over there, leave a comment or two, and then let other people know that it's happening and that they should do the same. Anytime you have something new to add, another reason why it's ridiculous for them to distract and to suggest that any profit from a firearm sale only is somehow now justification for the requirement for an FFL. It's a ridiculous distraction, and they should be ashamed and held responsible. So making comments is best use of your time. Telling other people about it is also useful and a way to exercise our civic opportunity here to tell the people who would abuse that civic mechanism against us. So we can do nothing and have it used against us, or we can simply catch the ball, keep walking to our destination, toss that ball back casually, and at the same time waste so much of what's his face's money that it's funny. So take that challenge if you want. Does anybody want to promote anything on the way out the door today?
So
Synopsis.com.
Appreciate it.
tomorrow I'll be live streaming day 6 of Oregon's ballot measure 114 trial.
What's the status? What's the status of that at this point?
We're getting ready to go. Tomorrow will be rebuttal witness, calling, and then closing arguments. So, in my opinion, during closing arguments, the plaintiffs, which would be us who are against ballot measure 114, will bring into fact that Benitez ruled California's mag ban unconstitutional, and the fact that that will have effect on the entire ninth. So that would do away with the portion of 114 that they've really been focusing on in this trial.
Right on. And then any idea how long it's going to go for? Any way to determine that?
Tomorrow is the last day of the trial. And then the judge, I figure, will have his decision within 7 to 10 days.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool at least. I mean, at least it's not going to keep going on forever. maybe.
I mean, if everything goes the way it's been going, this judge will get his decision out really quick. And if you've paid attention to any portion of the hearings leading up to the trial or the trial itself, I do believe that he's going to rule on the side of the Constitution. And I don't see that there can be any other way, but I could be completely shocked, you know?
Well, you're watching, so appreciate the focus on it, and I think there's value to archiving it too. Just to have it there so people can reference it. Anybody else want to plug anything? I know Gizzard does a show on Fridays. We should mention Foul Territory. It's an evening show for panel discussion and interactive conversation with the community each Friday for a couple hours.
And on Saturday evenings, Foss hosts lives, and on Sundays, She Fires hosts lives. So if lives are what you want to get, go to those channels and check them out. Weekend is replete with examples of fineness.
So I'm going to also promote alananchor.com. If you're a creator, you can get a hold of them, and they can help you with your channel stickers, channel logo design, or even patches. Or you can just shop their 2A swag that they have. So again, Alan Anchor has a great online presence.
Thanks, dude.
Right on. So that we don't spend all night doing this, I'm going to go ahead and end it, maybe abruptly, but just so that we leave it as the bracket part. We'll be chatting off air, so if in the future, if you wanted to be part of the conversation, be part of the panel, I should say, let somebody know, and maybe that could happen, depending on what's happening out there, how many other people are in the panel and that kind of thing. But we try to do these on the occasional basis. Can't say on the regular yet. But if you'd like to see stuff like this and more of what we really do, then head over to Patreon. It's a way that you can subscribe to what we're doing. Most people are subscribing at about a cup of coffee a month, so essentially $5 a month. Others are buying us lunch once a month. That's like $20 a month. And that adds up. It accumulates, and it pays for the servers for the dozens of websites that are out there. It'll give us time to build the hundreds of websites that we have back up again over the next months or so, and then the time to not just have stuff like this, which is obviously just a little bit of fun, but the comment periods, the focus on some of the things like the AMCON and the Gun Rights Policy Conference, monitoring that kind of stuff over the years, and the other industry events, but then also the hopefully the clarification, at least that's the goal, to all of this that's happening. We have stuff happening on the state level. We definitely have stuff happening on a timeline. I'm noticing we had that Safer Communities Act or something happen with Republican support, and now we're seeing the consequences of that, and a lot of people acting like it just came out of nowhere. So we have some stuff happening on a timeline where they instigate or kind of set the ball rolling, and then kick back and wait, and then gather the reap the benefits of whatever whatever I'm trying to say there. So I think that's something that hopefully we can add some clarification to going forward. It'd be great if we could do it before next year. So encouraging people who are interested in seeing that kind of stuff, that those kind of actions happen more and more quickly, head over to Patreon. We're not the only ones over there. Lots of people doing interesting stuff are there. You might find that supporting things that you value directly, like actually supporting the projects and not just the organizations that like what we do, you might find that you get more bang for your buck, at least more involvement and participation, and seeing people grow from zero to something is a lot more fun, in my opinion, than watching an organization bloat from millions of dollars to tens of millions without really doing much except figuring out more easy ways to collect the money. But that's just me, my jaded opinion. But thanks everybody for joining us and having some fun, and then a little bit of, I guess, other stuff at the end here. Oh, I'm going to play a commercial. What the hell? I got all these buttons. I'm going to click one of them.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
And then for Patriot in the Dark who digs it, we will put this on the end.
Shit. Ninja? Ninja! Ninja!
It's 11:59 at